Avengers Doomsday does not address why Doctor Doom looks like Tony Stark, and I think I know exactly why. Hey everybody, Colton here, and this one comes to us from Vince. Vince writes, Colton, did you see that Campea confirmed your theory that Doom's connection to Stark isn't touched on in Avengers Doomsday, and that it will instead be revealed in Secret Wars? All right. Thank you so much for the question, and yes, I did see roughly that happened. So about 2 weeks ago, I reported to you guys that I figured out the ending of Avengers Doomsday, the final scene of the film. And I said that the movie would end with Doom removing his mask for the first time in the entire movie, and that it would likely look a lot like what we saw RDJ do when they revealed that he was playing Doom at Comic-Con. Now, I based this on two nuggets that I picked up on from watching Campea's show. And he claims to know the full plot of Avengers Doomsday. Now, the two nuggets that he shared about the film were, one, he said that he was still 50-50 on being unsure of whether or not Doom was a variant with Tony Stark. He was unsure of that before he read the script or found out the whole plot. And he's still unsure of that after having found out the whole plot. To which I said, well, if they show Doom's face in the movie around characters who knew Tony Stark, then the fact that Doom looks like Tony, that has to come up. So that was clue number one, that maybe we weren't going to be seeing his face very much in this movie. Now, clue number two was Campea saying that, well, he believes that based on his knowledge of the plot of the film, that Doctor Doom will certainly appear in the marketing, like in the trailers for the movie. He did say that you should not expect to see RDJ's face in the marketing. And that again pointed me to, well, if we only see his face at the very end in the final shot of the movie, then yeah, that would be like the one scenario where I could think of that they aren't going to show his face in the trailers. If they're not going to show his, like, what would the reason be? Why would you not show his face in the trailers? Well, really the only reason I can think of is because his face isn't in the movie that much, and the one time it is, it's like a big reveal, so you don't put it in the trailer. And, you know, while I have said that I would be surprised if they didn't show off the face of RDJ in the trailers, it would make sense for Doom not to remove his mask, because in the comics, he hardly ever removes his mask. That is until Secret Wars, when he fixes his face. And what does Doomsday lead right into? Secret Wars. Now, Campea has recently said two other things that have once again added credence to my theory of how the movie ends, and has me thinking that Doctor Doom, he might not be in the movie all that much. Now, another thing Campea said was that when we all see the movie, we will understand why we shouldn't expect any Oscar consideration or buzz around RDJ's performance in Doomsday. Now, Campea, he's not the type who would base that claim on a performance that he hasn't seen yet. But I do think he is basing that claim on what he knows from the script. And I think that's that Doom is not in the movie that much, and that he's behind the mask for pretty much the entirety of the movie until the very end of the film. So I've talked a lot about things Campea has said. Let's watch this one clip that has really started to circulate online, and then we'll talk about it on the other side.
They do not, nor should they. And that answer will come in Secret Wars. They don't, and that's okay, because they will in Secret Wars. And I think it's the right decision.
So what really stands out to me here is Campea saying, nor should they, when he says that they don't address it, nor should they address it. Doom and Tony looking alike. Nor should they? That tells me that I think there's a story reason, because Campea is saying this based on him knowing the plot of the film. So if he has the opinion that nor should they be addressing it, that tells me that there must be a story reason that Doom's likeness with Stark not only isn't touched on in the movie, but shouldn't be touched on in the movie. Now, what could that reason be? Well, I think it's probably a big part of the film that we as the audience know who's under there, but that the characters, the other characters, are going to be in situations with this Doom guy and talking about this Doom guy, and we know, oh my God, he's Tony, he's connected to Tony, but they don't know it. And that will tie into the eerie nature of the whole thing. Because we as the audience, yes, we know RDJ is under there, but characters like Thor and Steve and other, MCU alum, they don't. And we could see a situation where Doom is like always just out of reach, like throughout the movie. Like all the heroes know is there's this Doom guy running around. Maybe Reed and Sue know full well about Doctor Doom, Victor Von Doom. Maybe he's from their universe. They know all about him. They talk about him. But what they don't know is, like, they would know what he looks like under the mask. But what they don't know is that everyone else recognizes that face as a guy from their universe, Tony Stark. So anyway, I think Doom is going to be running around causing trouble, but the heroes can never catch up to him, and he's always gone just before the heroes arrive. Meaning that unlike with Ultron and Thanos and other villains, we won't see like these repeated battles between the villain and the heroes throughout the movie. We'll instead see one big battle between the heroes and Doom at the end. And the enemies that the heroes fight throughout the film could be proxies like Doombots that are being controlled by Doctor Doom from some mysterious place, some unknown, undisclosed location. I mean, Doom could be hiding anywhere in the multiverse. Maybe he's dethroned Loki and he's sitting at Loki's throne, and they're needing to try to get to him by using the Ten Rings beacon that I think leads to Loki. Anything's possible at this point. And the Doombots could essentially be serving as like these vessels, kind of. Like it's Doom that they're interacting with, but they're interacting with him in the form of Doombots or other variants of himself that he's dreamwalking into, or maybe he's kind of dreamwalking, not really, into these other robots, or just, controlling them with his mind from across, universes, something like that. And they could be running around, these Doombots, universe to universe, causing trouble. And that is what brings me to the Kang of it all. Remember, this movie, Avengers 5, it was once Avengers the Kang Dynasty, but following Marvel's unhappiness with the way Kang was being received, as well as the drama with Jonathan Majors that put the final nail in this coffin, this then led, to them reworking Kang Dynasty, Avengers 5 Kang Dynasty, into Avengers 5 Avengers Doomsday. Now, many think, incorrectly I might add, that this whole RDJ Doctor Doom casting was this last minute random Hail Mary move, to which, if you know anything about Hollywood, no, it wasn't. Now, I've been very vocal on my opinion that an opinion that is based on evidence, that RDJ's return to the MCU, Secret Wars specifically, and as Doctor Doom specifically, I think that's something that Feige and RDJ and even the Russos have been kicking around for a while, even before they finished Endgame. And again, for Secret Wars, a movie that never had an attached director, by the way. So while yes, Kang Dynasty has been very much reworked, I don't know that Secret Wars had to undergo much reworking, because I think that maybe the Russos were always like in the wings, and that Feige was planning for the Russos and RDJ and all of them to come back for the big daddy MCU movie, Avengers Secret Wars, perhaps Kevin Feige's last Marvel movie. Like maybe after Secret Wars he moves on to something else. But I do think that Doctor Doom might have had a small role in the film always, perhaps revealing that, hey, yeah, I'm Doctor Doom, but I'm also Tony Stark. I'm a variant of Tony Stark or something like that. And then that would play into Secret Wars. And I really don't see them having done Secret Wars without Doom. That's a primary reason that, one of the primary reasons that I'm thinking this way, because Doom is such a crucial piece to both versions of Secret Wars from the comics. And I just think it's clear that with how quickly they were able to pivot to RDJ and Doom and Doomsday from Kang Dynasty, that one, I just think it confirms that he was always the plan for Secret Wars, and that two, going back to the topic of this video, he probably still doesn't have a huge role in the film if they are largely trying to like retrofit the plot of Kang Dynasty into the Doomsday plot. And the villains, like maybe they were once a bunch of Kang variants serving a prime Kang, and now they're a bunch of Doombots working for Doctor Doom. And that connects this whole show that they put on at Comic-Con, where we saw RDJ walk out on stage with a bunch of Dooms around him. So again, I think this is all pointing toward Doom having a smaller role perhaps in the film than we once thought he would. And the real threat of this movie is Doomsday itself, the end of the world, the end of the multiverse. And Doom is, yes, a huge part of it, but it's more his presence that is the lingering threat, not him having like a shit ton of screen time. And then Secret Wars, perhaps even Secret Wars and Secret Wars 2 could be what they had planned for RDJ in a big way. And Doomsday is now kind of just serving as the prelude to the biggest Marvel story ever told. But hey, those are just my thoughts. We are actually going to talk more about this, I'm sure, tomorrow and on the live show and over on Screen Crush. There's so much to talk about. So be sure to subscribe to the channel, turn the bell on so you get notified every time I upload a new video, every time I go live. And also be sure to go check out Screen Crush. I do a lot of contributing over there as well. All right. Love you guys. I will see you soon. Bye.